choosing your first synthesizer, and basically the 5 things that I would go through when you choose your first one. Because choosing your first synthesizer is it's a pretty big deal, and it's almost like choosing your first tattoo. You don't want to make a mistake, right? You don't want to choose something and then have to go back and be like, oh, I wish I got this, I wish I got that. That's the difference. So there's basically five kind of points that I would go through. First, I would look at analog versus digital. Then I would look at what are your goals. Then I would look at what kind of features you want in the synthesizer. Then I would look at entry level versus long-term investment, and then try it before you buy it. So today we're just talking about how to choose your first synthesizer. If you're looking to get into synthesizer and electronic music, like what you should do, what kind of process I would go through if I were you to choose your first synthesizer. That's basically what we're going to go over today. And then if you guys got any questions, you can feel free to ask. Like I said, this is Slew and Brew, man. We're just having a coffee here. I'm in between, I got to go back to work here in a little bit, and then Black Ops all the way, baby. Bro Synth Network. It's sweet. Yeah, Slew and Brew. So I guess first things first, when you're choosing your first synthesizer, like I just said, we're going to go over 5 points. Analog versus digital. What are your goals for getting the synthesizer? What kind of features you want in it? Long-term investment versus entry level, and then try it before you buy it. That's kind of the structure I got set up here in my mind. So first things first is analog versus digital. That's a big question, because personally for me, I feel like digital has a bigger sound selection than analog does, but analog has a very different feel than a lot of the digital synthesizers, right? Yeah, so if you want to, down in the comments, throw what was your first synthesizer down there. As far as analog goes, you got like the classic analog synthesizers, like the Moog synthesizers, very expensive. Sequential synthesizers, very expensive, but they're very good analog synthesizers. They're, probably 2 of the most famous synthesizer companies in the world. You got Arturia, which has much more money-friendly synthesizers. You got Behringer, which is basically the entry-level synthesizers, and they got a ton of analog synthesizers that are absolutely fantastic. And if analog's something you want, then Behringer might be the route to go for that. What's up, Vivith? What's up, Jack? Now, as far as digital goes, you got companies like Roland and Korg, and you got digital hybrids like Arturia with the Micro Freak, the Mini Freak, So you got lots of different choices when it comes, but you just have to narrow down what do you want to do. Do you want an analog synthesizer or you want a digital? For me personally, if it was my first synthesizer, thinking back now, because I got a ton, I'm about to buy like my friggin' 10th or 12th synthesizer. If I was to get the first one, I'd go for a digital. Personally, a digital one that was packed full of features and presets and sounds, and you could do everything all at once. So that would lead us into our second favorite drink, coffee. That would lead us into our second topic. What's your actual goal for buying a synthesizer? Is it to just get lost in sound and play around? Are you looking to be a sound designer? Are you looking to be, what's up QWL? Are you looking to be making beats? Are you looking to be a producer? Are you looking to have something to add to your acoustic setup? Like you want some synthesizers to go with a guitar if you're a guitar player? I'm the Synth Samurai, leader of the Bro Synth Network. So what are your goals? So like if you're into making beats, maybe it's a good idea to look at something like a groove box, like an MPC or a Roland SP404, things like that, a Poly-In Play, Synthstrom Deluge. All these are groove boxes that if you're into making beats, then these are really good options. Now, if your goals are to learn synthesis, as in subtractive synthesis or something like that, then you might actually be better off getting something like a a very simple Behringer synthesizer, all right, or something like an Arturia Mini Freak, or a Hydra synth. These are like very deep synthesizers that if you get them first, you won't get sick of them, put it that way. There's so much area to go. Something like a Roland JDXI is pretty cool, like $499. This here is a really good synthesizer because you got your drums in there, you got your bass, you got your leads, you got your pads, you've got an actual analog synthesizer built into it, and you can make a whole track on just that one synthesizer with the four lanes, right? So you can set up your drums. So that there, if you're into making songs, the Roland JDXI is a great option, big time. If you want to make music like Gigi Allen, I don't know what you do then. So figure out your goals. Sit down, think about what you want to do. Do I want to be a sound designer? Do I want to make preset packs? Do I want to make beats? Do I want to get into hip hop? What am I looking to do here? Synthwave, and then you can narrow down your choices. Maybe we'll go over some options, or you guys throw some options in the comments of what you think would be the best option for beginner synthesizers in each category. Now, once you've looked at your goals, now you need to look at what kind of functions you want on this thing. Now, as a beginner synthesizer, it depends what you want to do. If you're going to use a computer, you can add lots of effects and stuff like that after. Me personally, if I was to get a first synthesizer, I would want a synthesizer that comes with built-in effects. So with reverb, delay, chorus, bit crusher, distortion, all that built into the synthesizer. At the minimum, you want some delay and reverb built in, because then you don't have to go to your computer. Then you can, if you just bought an analog synthesizer, you're going to want to put some effects on it anyway. It sounds good analog, but listen, everybody's putting effects on it, whether it's reverb, delay, chorus, something like that. You're going to put that on at some point, and it's just, as a beginner, it's something you probably would like to have on your synth. Personally, for me, I love having effects on my synthesizers, but I'm totally Dallas. I just jam with hardware, right? So you got to have effects. Now, you can do things like buy guitar pedals if you're a guitar player. If you're a guitar player and you're looking to switch into synthesizers or pick up a synthesizer, man, guitar pedals are some of the best things you can add to a synthesizer that doesn't have effects or has it. Yeah, I got a bunch. Well, that's the one I got there, yeah. What's up, lazy guy? Yeah. So, these are the kind of things you got to think about. You know what I mean? Yeah, it is cool. I got it in Thailand. A friend of mine in Thailand did it. He owns a tattoo shop. So he gave me 2 tattoos, actually. I'll never go to the dark side and get VSTs. I might use a DAW at some point, but I like just using hardware, so I'm not getting in VSTs. I know that's your goal, is to get me into VSTs. All right, so after you figure out what kind of features you want on the synthesizer, now you can move on to, do you want to get something that's a long-term investment that's going to hold its value, or are you just looking to get an entry level, get in, get your feet wet, and then acquire more gear as you go? This is a big question. Me personally, I don't know. I bought a bunch of Korgs to start off, and they lost all their value, but they've brought me so much intrinsic value, and I absolutely love the sound. So I got the Korg Op6, I got the Korg Wave State, the Korg Minilog XD, the Korg Drum Log, and the Korg Mod Wave, right? And they've brought me so much value intrinsically, but extrinsically and monetarily, they've all lost their value. So they weren't good investments if I wanted to sell them down the road. So, I mean, if you're flush with cash and you want to get a synthesizer, then, I mean, you can think about getting a big one like the Moog Muse now. It's $3,500. That's an amazing synthesizer, which will hold its value. You got the Polybrute 12 from Arturia, which is a huge synthesizer. $4,000. That'll hold your value. You got a Groove Synthesis Third Wave, which is like between $3,500 and $5,000. These are crazy. Then you go down the list. You start going down. You got sequentials, which will hold their value. You got probably one of the best synthesizers for value would be the Hydra Synth. You know, you can pick that up for $1,100 and you'll never ever get sick of it. You also got something like the Sequential Rev 2, which is a great synthesizer. You've got You've got the Roland Juno X and Jupiter X, which are absolutely amazing. Like, I mean, if you got the money, pick up a secondhand Juno X or a Jupiter X or Jupiter XM. Jupiter XM would be an amazing synthesizer. You can get a Polybrute 12, a Polybrute 6 for like $1,500 these days. What's up, Romania? Yeah. So I mean, so you just got to figure out, do you want to get something that's going to hold its value, or are you going to get something like a Behringer, which will probably decrease in value, a Korg decrease in value, and then you just kind of build up your collection over time with no intentions of getting rid of them. So for me, I have no intentions of getting rid of any of them. So I don't really care if they hold their value, right? But I'm looking at getting a big one next, so. And you got a synthesizer like an Absolute. Do you want it to be portable? Do you want to be able to bring it out with you? Do you want it to have battery power? Or do you want to just have to keep it in the home? Are you going to be gigging with it? All different kinds of things to consider, right? And then the fifth thing is you probably want to try it before you buy it. So head to like a Guitar Center, or if you got a music shop, which, you know, there's not many of them around these days, you can try it out, you know, especially if you're going to get something that's going over $1,000. You probably want to try it out before you buy it. I mean, I don't try anything before I buy it, I just buy it. PB6 is an Arturia Polybrute 6. It's a 6-voice analog synthesizer from a French company called Arturia. Just type it into YouTube and watch some videos. Polybrute 6. I mean, for me these days, I'm looking at getting the cream dream, I call it, the Polybrute 12. Point and shoot, I just bought a state-of-the-art synth studio. I'm a pro. What's up, man? What do you got in the studio? What kind of stuff did you put in there? Point and shoot, throw it down in the bottom there. Because my whole goal is to build up a collection and then have a studio later on where I can rent out. That's kind of what I'd like to do in the end. People can come in, rent it out, jam, have all different kinds of synthesizers. So that would be a cool idea. So that's the 5 points, man. Super simple. Analog versus digital. Figure out which route you want to go. Personally, I would go digital or a hybrid to start. But if you want to go straight analog and just really get an idea of what it's like doing subtractive synthesis with an analog, I would probably pick a Behringer synthesizer, like a mono poly. You can get them now in Sweetwater for $489. Behringer mono poly, crazy deal. My first synthesizer I didn't buy. A friend of mine gave it to me. It was called the Arturia Microbrute. Super synthesizer. You know, very, very simple. A real basic sequencer. Pure analog. Had a little, I think it was a 6-point patch bay in the top right. And when you add some guitar pedals to it, it sounds great, but you'll get sick of it very quick, right? So that's a good synthesizer to learn. Moog 116 voice. Yeah, that's a $10,000 synthesizer, Moog 1. And they don't make that anymore now. I think you're better off getting a Moog Muse over a Moog 1, to be honest. Moog Muse over a Moog 1 all day. Moog 1 had too many issues. The people who got one that worked good, it was great. The people who got one that didn't work good wasn't great. Because can you imagine spending $10,000 on something and then it's got tuning issues like crazy and you know, tons of problems. I feel like it was a very ambitious project, but I just don't think that Moog had the money or the manufacturing properly to make that synthesizer a success. I think they only sold 3,500 of them or something. So they probably lost a ton of money on that. Actually, the Moog 1 is probably what crushed the company. That Moog 1 project is probably what ended up getting Moog sold to InMusic. Yeah, if you got it for looks and chills, that's cool. It is a cool piece of furniture, I guess. It does look pretty awesome. But if you ask me, the Polybrute 12 looks the best of any synthesizer right now. The Polybrute 12, the Jupiter X, and the Moog Muse are the best looking synthesizers going at the moment. Easy. Hey, what's happening, Boquita? From Puerto Rico, what's happening? I'd like to get to Puerto Rico soon. Yeah, so then you got analog versus digital. Figure that out. Once you figure that out, figure out what your goals are. Do you want to make beats? Do you want to be a sound designer? Do you want to produce songs? Do you want to make full tracks? is early, man. Early bird gets the worm. Then after you figure that out, then you look at what features you want. Do you want it? How many oscillators you want it to have? What kind of effects you want built in? Um, do you want it to have a sequencer? Do you want it, do you want it to have multiple lanes where you can build multiple tracks on top of each other, like a JDXI? Do you want it to be FM? Do you want it to be a wavetable? Do you want it to be, think about those things. If you haven't went there, go check it out. It's that's gonna be starting up very soon. I just got the stream enabled, so I'll be starting that up soon. Yeah, throw your pirate flags down, man. What do you want to know? What this is? Bro Synth Network. Bro Synth Network is going to be a group and a network of synthesizer enthusiasts that have small channels that we're going to be building each other up and doing streams on Fridays and maybe Sundays where we get together, talk about different types of sound design, how you make your kind of music, just have a bit of fun, have a laugh, talk about synthesizer news as a group, and we'll have rotating people coming in, rotating guests, and it'll be about building up the little guy, building up the little channel, building up people who are bedroom musicians, home producers, anybody who's like super pumped up and psyched up about music and in general, and then a bunch of other stuff, working out, UFC. Yeah, a lot of channels, they only have the pros on, but we want to have the bros, right? It's fun having pros on, but you know what I mean? Sometimes you just want to have the bros on, you just want to have a chat, and there's so many good channels out there on YouTube right now that I feel like it's really hard to get any traction when you're just doing synthesizer jams and music. That's how I started, just doing the jams and stuff, and it's really, really hard to get any traction. There's only a couple formats you can use if you want to make a channel and have it grow with making music with synthesizers. There's only a couple formats, and those formats are a top-down camera with the synthesizer and you basically explaining how to use the synthesizer, very sharply produced, high quality camera, and minimal talking, more sound. Then the other format is top down, where you're just playing the sounds and then you got writing going across the screen, and nobody has had me in a stream. Yeah, QWL. So what I'm gonna do is, this is the idea, is I'm going to build up a network of contacts, phone numbers and stuff like that, and then each week whoever got time, I'll just send out the Zoom link, and then we'll just go live. It's going to be pretty much an all live channel. We'll go live, have a chat for an hour, talk about what's happening, or we'll just bring on one person, me and that person will just have a chat about what's going on. So QWL, you're invited, everybody in the chat. The whole idea is to get everybody who has small channels on, who's super excited about the same things, and then promote your channel as we talk about it, and hopefully we can build each other up. Rising tide lifts all boats. Yeah, the night verb pedal last night was awesome. That's the idea behind the Bro Synth Network, because like I said, there's a lot of pros on these shows, but not a lot of bros, and the bros are what watch the shows. So why not have the bros on the shows, right? Instead of the pros. I mean, the pros can come on too, but have the pros on with some bros. It'd be cool if we could get, I want to get Espen Craft on. I know he's like a very legitimate synth renegade. I enjoy his content very much. I'd love to have Espen on for a chat. There's the whole Kumite legends. We got all the Kumite legends who all want to come on the show for a chat and talk about stuff. We got Echo Craft, we got Uncle Jerry, we got Synth Punk. There's just so many people out there who are highly charismatic and very entertaining. And I'm not a pro, bro. I'm a bro. Deuce Bigelow. I'm not a pro. I'm a bro. So that's the whole idea behind the Bro Synth Network. So just to recap, Kieran, you just got here. I'll just recap these, and then we'll just finish off with a light chat here. You guys can ask some questions. When you're picking your first synthesizer, here's the 5 things I would go through. Analog versus digital first. Think about what you want. Then you go through what are your goals for getting the synthesizer. You want to be a producer, beat maker, sound designer. After that, you look at what features you want in the synthesizer. Okay, number 3, what features? Do you want tons of effects? Do you want wavetables? Do you want FM? After that, are you going to get a long-term investment like an expensive Moog Muse, Polybrute 12, or are you going to go for entry level like cheaper Arturia or Behringer or something like that? And then after that, go to the shop and try it out. That's the 5 points, right? That's what I would do. Now, the floor is now open for questions. Yeah, I got to make more money, man. You just need to get paid, and then you're... Yeah, I know. That's what I think. That's what I'm saying. If you make money from making music, I guess you're considered a pro. So, what's up, Macro Dose? Have a good shift at the salt mine later. Yeah, I had a good shift this morning. I worked from 3:30 till what 6:15, 6:20, and then I got to go back now 7:30 to 2:30, and then I might do a streamathon tomorrow. What's up, DJ Wojtek? I just got a Juno D and thought I will sell the Juno X, but no, they play together super well. I was thinking about getting the smaller Juno D, actually. Which Juno did you get? The big Juno D or the smaller one? What's up, DJ Wojtek? Yeah, if you guys don't mind, hit the like button. Thanks, yeah. Thank you for that. The one and only Nicole. Yeah, a lot of people think that. I think I'm one of the most famous YouTubers in that category. What's up, Cyber Samurai? What's happening? Hey, go pick one of these shirts up, man. They're sweet. Got my logo on the side. Got the pirate patch there. Got the freak skull on the back. Deadly. Bro Synth Network. I might launch it today right after work. I might go live for the first Bro Synth Network stream after work today, after the Pro Synth Network finishes their stream. I'll just, like in NASCAR, they'll go and then I'll draft behind them. And then as soon as they go offline, I'll be like, "Wow, here we go with the Bro Synth Network." Well, I had to get 50 subs QWL to go live. I got the 50 subs, then I had to apply to YouTube to get verified to go live. So I'm waiting on the email. I'm gonna check when I get to work to see if they verified it. If they verified it today, I might go live with the intro episode of the Bro Synth Network today. If you haven't checked it out, type in Bro Synth Network on YouTube and then go subscribe to it. First synth, Behringer Crave for learning basics, or Korg XD simple. Yeah, Korg Minilog XD is also, I think that was my second synthesizer, and that was an awesome synthesizer to get. You can pick it up for $399 right now. Korg Minilog XD. You can get the desktop version, or you can get the one with the keys. I think it's one of the best synthesizers. You know what? That's probably one of the last great synthesizers by Korg was the Minilog XD. I believe it's got digital oscillators, analog filter. Does it? I'm not sure. It might have analog. I don't know. It might be. I think it's a hybrid. I can't remember now. But yeah, the Crave is a good one. I mean, the thing about synthesizers these days, you can pick up such high quality synthesizers for such good prices. I mean, if I was to tell someone what to get first right now, I would say get an Arturia Mini Freak. I would say to get a Hydrasynth Explorer. Or if you got the money, a regular Hydrasynth, a Behringer DeepMind 12 would be a absolutely fantastic first synthesizer. A Juno X to me, or like DJ Wojtek said, yeah, how much money you got? So you got to look at your budget too. Yeah, I forgot to say that. What's your budget? But these days, no matter what your budget, anybody can get a good synthesizer these days. You don't need a crazy budget to get a good synthesizer. That's the thing. You can get a really good synthesizer for under $500. Really, really good. Yeah, a lot of people said when they heard some Behringer grind videos in the wild there yesterday, they weren't impressed. When they heard Patch Dogs, it was awesome. And then when they heard some... But the problem is, you get a lot of these YouTube accounts that don't have their audio running through the proper interface. So you're really getting it through a cell phone. And that really does... It's a shame when you got really good sound designers and you got high-quality synthesizers and they're recorded through a cell phone from the monitors and their speakers. It sounds good to you when you're recording it, but when it goes up on YouTube, it sounds horrible. It's not hard to run it through an interface. All I got's a Behringer mixer and my iPhone. That's how I record all my videos and all my friggin' shows. I use my iPhone, I use a Behringer mixer, and I use a OBS software. It's like the most basic setup ever. I got OBS, I got a bunch of scenes, I never edit anything. I just edit on the fly with OBS, switching scenes. I use my friggin' iPhone like I'm using now to record, and the Behringer mixer, which cost me like $110. So basically for $110, I already had the phone, and OBS is free, so it cost me $110 for to set up my whole synth shows done for $110. That's it. Super cheap to record the whole synth show. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to the channel, watch my show from last night. I did on the Erica Synths Night Verb. That whole show was recorded for $110. It's just the Behringer mixer is all I had to buy. And to be honest, I don't even know if I needed that really, but I just used that because I got all my synthesizers plugged into it. Mention in the PSN chat that there's a BSN after party. No diddy. Yeah, that's what I should do. After parties over at the Bro Synth Network. I don't know if I'm going to do it today or not, because I kind of want the launch of the Bro Synth Network to be, but maybe I should just go for it and just start it. And just, you know, that's what I did with the other channel, just start it and let it roll. But I feel like the Bro Synth Network is going to be a really good time. So I kind of want to make sure I got it set up. You know, I want to have the graphics set up in OBS. I want to be able to zoom in and get everyone on the screen who wants to call in, or not call in, wants to zoom in and have a chat. The only requirements are just friggin' get a good friggin' microphone. But these days with your iPhone, you get a perfect iPhone. Like, I'm just talking through iPhone right now and the microphone's perfect. So you don't need a lot, man. The thing about the YouTube thing is too many people overthink what you need. Like, I need to have the best camera, I need to have the best interface, I need the best mic, I need this, that, and the other. That's not the point. If you're gonna start a YouTube channel, don't even think about any of that till after 100 videos. Make 100 videos, learn how to use OBS and everything works. Use your cell phone and get a cheap USB mic and you can get it going. What's up on Faithful Journey? What's happening? Yeah, I guess the question is, should I launch the Bro Synth Network channel today? Or should I build it up a little more? That's the question. Because I could go in today and Pro Synth Network, and then as soon as that's over, we jump right over to the Bro Synth Network. Don't rush. Yeah, I don't know. Build it up a little bit. We're good now. I hit the go live mark, so I can go live at any time now. I just got to make sure YouTube... yeah, the pubs is their own thing. Like, I thought about it for a while, and I've checked out a few of them now. And the pubs, I'm like, the pubs is kind of just... It's almost like it's very voyeurish. There's no interaction with the chat, and it's just like you're watching a bunch of dudes on a Zoom call. But I get it. It's kind of like they're all going to the pub to hang out, and they just throw it up online. So I kind of understand. It's a cool idea. And Pro Synth Network's just a very serious show, you know? They cover synthesizers. They're very serious. I think they've got... What their method is, in my opinion, is I kind of see what their goal is of having the show. You know, I kind of see where it is. They weren't the best to me, but you know, any publicity is good publicity, and I think they don't really understand what's going on over at Samurai Nation and that synth show and all the stuff I'm doing. They don't really get it yet, and I think maybe some people tried to explain it to them, didn't do a good job. Maybe they don't like my style. I'm like the wasabi of the synth world, you know. First time you try it, you're like, ugh. But then you're like, can I try that again? You're like, ooh. And then you really want some wasabi. So I'm like, my nickname is Synth Wasabi, Synth Sabi. They call me Synth Sabi, you know? I'm an acquired taste. First time you try me, you're like, ooh. Next time you're like, that's not bad. Next time you're like, can I get some more of that? And you're like, where's the wasabi? Where's the Synth Sabi? Yeah. Yeah, Synth Sabi. That's what I am. You can call me Synth Sabi. So, but see, the thing is, they got their own audience, so I understand it. You know, I don't want to hate on them, even though they're dicks to me. They were dicks to me, to be honest. You know, I didn't like how they talked about me, but they can have their own opinion, man. I don't really care that much. I just think it's kind of like weird how they would come after me. But you know what? It's game on now. They wanted a challenge. You know, competition breeds evolution. So now it's the Pro Synth Network versus the Bro Synth Network. And we're not really competitors because we got a totally different demographic. So we're not really competing, but we're competing in the sense that, you know, they got, what do they got? They're closing in on 5,000 subs. I'm closing in on 3,500, and on my other channel, and then we'll see. Sky's the limit now. They can't keep up with my work ethic. It's just impossible. There's no way they can keep up. Nobody works harder in this scene than I do. No one makes more content. No one's digging in as deep. No one's reaching out to as many synth renegades as they can. You know, they got their own little group and they stick together, and that's just the way it is. What's up, John? What do you say? John Costello, just make all Bro Synth on his channel. What do you mean? Don't make another channel? Yeah, I could just do it on my channel and just create a show called the Bro Synth Network and then build off of that. But dude, the other one's already got like 80 subs already, and it's different. I kind of want to keep it separate because it would be cool if the Bro Synth Network could be rotatedly hosted, if different people could host it. Yeah, I saw they launched their merch. I mean, come on, dude. This is merch. You know what I mean? They just launched their merch. Took them long enough. I had merch going since freaking day one. And I made my channel not to sell t-shirts to anybody. I made it so I didn't have to go to the mall. That's why I made my merch store, so I could buy my own clothes. Yeah, people think it's boring. I think it's boring. Did you like my designs? Yeah, your designs are cool. I'm going to showcase it on my next show there, Macro Dose. Very, very cool. If I could throw your... yeah. So listen, I wouldn't mind having the Pro Synth Network, one of them come over to the Bro Synth Network sometime. So I guess what we're setting up here is WWE versus WCW. You know, Monday Night Raw versus Monday Night Nitro. And we're going to see how it goes, right? Because the Bro Synth Network is way more fun, you know? And I was cool with them. I used to watch their show every single Friday. I'd watch their show. And, you know, and then suddenly I found out in their stream, their pub stream or whatever, that Kent guy runs. I found out that them and their moderators were talking crap. And so they started this weird drama. And I guess they just don't understand that when you start drama, what do you think? You think you're just gonna smack someone digitally and they're not gonna respond? So my response is very fair. This is my response. All right? This is the response to them talking crap about me when I'm just a guy who's being super positive trying to build people up, and you're gonna talk crap. So guess what we're doing now? We're doing the Bro Synth Network, and I'm going on Fridays right after your show finishes. I'm going with the Bro Synth Network, and that's what we're doing. And may the best team win. You know what I mean? All I try to do is build people up. I don't try to tear people down. And like I said, if the British Bagpipe wants to try and tear me down, go for it. It's going to be Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. I'm going to body slam you digitally. What's up, Jan? I got to go to work anyway, so just to recap, the 5 things you should do when buying your first synthesizer. Look into analog versus digital, see what one you want. Define your goals, what you want to do, produce beats, be a sound designer, make tracks, just enjoy synthesis in general. Number 3, find out what features you want on it. You want effects, how many oscillators, wavetables, FM, look into all that. Number 4, what was number 4? Oh yeah, number 4, Do you want an entry level like Behringer, or do you want an investment like John Costello? His theory now is all about buying high quality of the best quality. It holds its value, and don't waste money on cheap stuff. And number 5 is go try it before you buy it. But I don't try anything before I buy it. I just buy it. I just trust my gut. All right, so I got to go to work. You guys take it easy. Bro Synth Network all day.